let's start with the demo. So,
Okay.
I am Krish. So, I've been a trainer. I'll be your trainer for this partial course, and we have different batches going on both morning and evening based on your time. We can pick a slot. So, we usually do weekdays, all 5 days, or there's also a weekend batch. If you want, whatever time is good for you, we can get you enrolled. So basically, I just want to you to give a simple introduction before we proceed with a demo.
Myself, Ram Prasad. I'm working in HCL as a
Mm-hmm.
SCCM administrator. But
Okay.
currently, I'm working in app package, application packaging.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You are able to see my screen, right?
Yeah, I'm able to see your screen.
Okay. Sure. So partial in itself is present in all the Windows-based systems. You don't have to specifically install anything. If you're looking for a specific partial version itself, yes, you might need to update things. But it is natively present on all Windows-based systems, no matter if it's a server or any of your local machines, any Windows-based versions like XP, Vista, we have 7, 10, whatever it is, even 11. There are ways you can access partial. One is through the native Windows partial. You can just go to start and then go to partial and do stuff like that. You can also use partial ISC. I'm not sure if you use this client. One sec. Okay. So, one sec. Okay, this is partial ISC. So basically, I would recommend, okay, as we start courses, start a course, I'll recommend you using either this or VS Code, and I'll also help you on configuring both VS Code and this. This does not need any configurations, but if you are using VS Code as Visual Studio Code, you can basically use that to develop, to use any of the programming languages. You can do other stuff like Python, Java, and things like that. You can also use partial there. So advantage of using it there is just it is useful as an IDE. So as you type things, it'll help you autocomplete like and any variables that you've already used, it'll automatically show you if you start typing, and it'll help you as you start programming if you're going into advanced scripting. But before that, let's start with our demo, right? So let's take an example. So one of the most known use cases of partial is, let's say, you're an SCCM admin, right? So let's say an SCCM server is having a sort of bottleneck, sort of issues. You're basically seeing CPUs and memories going way beyond, like, let's say 95 and above all the time, and you are to monitor, and you can use any traditional tools like any of the third-party monitoring tools. Uh, you can also do this yourself. So uh, let me get to the basics. Yeah, no, one sec. So the basic commandlet to get the memory itself, to see how much RAM is utilized, how much RAM is used, and things like that. You can use get-wma object and then
Okay.
do Windows. So this class, this is one of the classes that you can use. So it is one of the switch you pass with to this commandlet called get-wma object. So there's a lot of classes, but basically I will give you a list as we start our classes to know what are all the classes that you might typically need. You can also refer Google and things like that. But let's keep this simple for a demo. One second, I think I made a. I'll just get this from. Yeah. So, okay. Basically, what it does is get-wma object is a commandlet, and this is a switch. you're basically saying to look at this specific class, and you're just selecting. Select is one of the, so this is a pipe. So basically what a pipe means is whatever is present before this pipe is the input, whatever is present after this pipe. Okay, this is one of, this is called pipeline, and we'll also cover this in our classes. So basically you're saying give me the total visible memory size and free physical memory. Basically what it means is total visible memory is your total RAM, and free physical memory is the RAM that is not used or that is free. So basically what you can do is you can write a code, write the script block stating if the memory crosses 90% for like at any point of time, you can get notified via an email. You can notify it to a CSV, or whatever you want to do. But yeah, before that I want to show you the processor utilization as well, the CPU utilization. We'll build a script based on CPU and memory utilization, but before that I'll also want to show you what CPU utilization looks like on PowerShell. So basically it's the same commandlet. What I'm doing is I'm looking at a different class, and this is actually a filter. What I'm doing in this filter is specifically looking at this property called total. One sec, I'll mute this. Okay. Uh, this parameter, what it will have is your CPU utilization itself. Okay, one sec. So these kind of commandlets you'll get even from Google, but to build yourself a script to get this whole process automated, you'll have to learn things like the syntax, the conditional statements, and what you can do, and show you the way around the partial itself. Okay, I'll do that. So basically, we have these commandlets. So first, we have the physical memory, memory utilization, and the CPU utilization. Okay, what I'll do next is I'll create a variable, save both of these in a variable, and then basically say with the CPU crosses 80% log it, and memory crosses 80% log it. Okay, to do that, one sec. What I'm basically doing here is I'm creating a variable name memory performance perfs. You can create any variable. It could be anything, even your own name and any alphanumeric characters. And always when you're starting a variable, use the dollar sign. That is when it will know, partial will know that it is a variable. You don't have to specifically define anything. That is the beauty of partial. And basically what I've done is store all the output of this commandlet in this variable. So let me show you what I'll do further.
Krish, what is the meaning of variable?
Yeah, okay, sure. So 1, 2, 3, these are integers, but these are also constants. What I mean by
Okay.
constants is one is universally one. You can't change the meaning of one. But
Yes.
if you have anything called a variable, basically basic math, let's call this variable on math terms. Let's call a an variable. A can hold any value. It can hold 1, it can hold 121, it can even hold any string. So basically in math, if you equate any property to any variable, that means it holds that value, right? uh, do you recall that? Okay, even if you do not recall, that's the basic gist of it. So what a variable means is it itself it does not have anything. What you'll do is it will take whatever thing you throw at it. Let's say I'm creating a variable. It will hold a value called 1. I can also create a variable which will have the string. Let's call the string itself, or let's say India. So basically this variable, uh, if let's say $a, so $a is basically containing the value 1, and $b, this variable is basically having the string called India. It can be anything. This variable can be a string of strings. It could be objects, array of objects, and it goes on. So that will be covered on the data types, but that's how what a variable is. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, we do know that the total visible memory and free physical memory are the properties, and they hold the value of total RAM and the free RAM. So basically, this is a syntax. This is actually a math function. What it basically does is, if you see here, this is the total memory minus free memory into 100 by total memory, which will actually give you amount of memory that is actually used right now. So let me say performance. So the percentage. So I did in. So this is actually percentage difference between total visible and free physical memory. Okay, uh, I'll show you the task manager to give you a rough idea of what I am actually doing it. Okay. If you look at memory, you see the percentage utilization is 34%, right? So how do you compute that? You can compute that with this logic. Basically, this is the percentage difference formula. Uh, this will be available all over the place. But what I'm computing here is this. So if you see, we got 33.42 percentages of memory utilization, which is actually close to this. It is actually rounding off. So things like the CPU and utilization, what we'll do is instead of opening task manager, we'll create a script. We'll create variables, save the value of CPU and memory there, and we'll build a logic where it will notify us if it crosses a certain threshold. And once it crosses a certain threshold, as an SCCM admin, you can take a look on your system and you can say that there is something wrong. What I can do, instead of it getting throttled for a long period of time and then causing your system resources to go down and things like that, you can do this. Okay. Okay, basically, yeah, we have the memory performance computed there. So we can get the CPU utilization. Sure, one sec. We get the CPU utilization from this variable, right? So we'll have to create a variable for it. What I'll do is I'll get to the same and call it CPU performance. Equals this. So basically, our CPU performance variable holds the percentage of CPU utilization, and our memory performance. Uh, one sec. Performance.
Chris, when we use the dollar symbol.
Mhm. Yeah, when we are creating a variable. So let's say,
Okay. Before
okay,
we need to
uh,
put dollar
yeah,
symbol, right?
before I create any variable, yeah, let's call the variable ABC. I'll use the dollar sign before. So this is the syntax for creating any variable in PowerShell. So if it is a string, you'll have to use this double quotes. If you're not using
Double
quotes,
quote.
what it will basically do is it will not treat your string like it will not hold the entire value. It will just throw you an error. It is because it is a space and it is expecting something through. If it is a string, it is expecting it within quotes. If not, it will not treat it as a string. Okay, that's what it does. Basically, what you're passing is three different things to one single variable, so it does not know what to do, and that is why it is throwing you the error. Basically, it says token 2 does not know what to do, and there is also a token called JDF, ADF. It does not know what to do. Okay, that's why it's getting that error. Okay, so we have both the CPU and memory performance uh, uh, on our variables. Okay, what we can do is if $CPU performance dot percent processor time. So basically, if it's a conditional statement, what it will do is it will only go through the block. The block will be defined within the curly braces, and if the condition within this is satisfied, it will only then get into this logic. Okay, so I'll just evaluate this to let you know this greater than or equal to CPU performance. So in any of our server scenarios, we'll basically point it at somewhere 80 or 90% threshold. But to make a logic work here, since the utilization is 30, I'll just call it 10, and then what I'll do is write if and host basically will is like a print statement. Whatever you write within the right host will get thrown at you. Okay, it'll just be printed on your PowerShell window. So I can just copy this. This. Okay. Basically, what it does is, so the percentage process time, the CPU utilization, if it is greater than 10%, it will basically do whatever operation you want. So basically, in our script, we can define a logic where it will send an email to your mailbox or a set of admins. So you can have those admins, all of them, added to a blog and then send emails to all of them. And you can also make logic such that if it goes at a certain threshold, let's say 80%, it goes to different set of recipients, and for 90% it notifies other set of recipients. So I'll also now create a PowerShell script, just so you know how to create those stuff. One second. So basically any PowerShell script will be stored in the format in the extension .ps1. So what I'm going to do is whatever I've already done on the PowerShell window, I'll just copy them and paste them on the script and then execute it, so that you get an idea on how actually scripts work, how you can create and run scripts yourself. Okay, so basically I'll
Okay.
just get the CPU performance, see this here. Okay, is the size too small for you to look? I'll just increase it to 20. Is this good now?
Yeah, good.
Okay. I'll also get the memory performance. Okay, basically what we have is two logic. One is CPU performance, and if it's greater than 10, you can also make it say that the CPU utilization is high, and then print the value. And the same logic, same conditional statement if we can use to the memory as well. So the memory performance greater than 10. The same thing. So basically, whatever you define within the writers will thrown at your screen. Yeah, okay.
Which why we
That's
need to use if?
If is one of the basic conditional statements. So we can
Okay.
use different things like while, do while, if else, and nested loops, for loops, and switch cases, and something like that. But if
Okay.
we'll give you a basic of all the statements. Basically, if what it does is if, and then there will be a condition. The condition works, it will get into this logic. So this logic that is surrounded within the curly braces, and it will only execute if this condition is satisfied. So basically what I'm doing here is creating a variable and storing the memory utilization there, and I'm creating a logic. What it does is uh, it will do a condition lookup. So what it'll do is it will look up the performance and see if it is greater than or equal to 10. 10 is a percentage. You don't have to define percentage here because you've already converted this into percentage, and you're just looking up at the decimal point. So if it is greater than
Okay.
10, you know it is greater than 10 percentage, and you're basically stating the memory utilization high is high, and then giving the number what the memory utilization is right now. Okay, Yeah, we can also use other conditions, but if it's very simple, that's why I always use it for demo. You'll also we can see different use cases for if as we start the classes. But to keep it simple, yes, this is it. So to save any partial files, let me just take this away and save as desktop. This guy here for you to see. So basically, it's in text, right? So to save it, what you can do is just call my demo script or something like that. You can name your script anything. So you can also do this .ps1 yourself and use the type as all files. You can alternatively, okay. So if you're in partial ISE, you'll have an option to save it as a partial file itself. It'll have an option to save as a lot of different file types. But since this is just a notepad file, you'll not have the option to append any extensions. You'll have to basically type it out. Basically, I'm just calling it .ps1. .ps1 means a partial script file. Okay, it is the extension like how you have text and MP4s and stuff like that, like videos and text documents. I'll just save this guy, and then what I'll do is I will execute this guy. Okay. Okay. Before executing, I want to teach you this command. Let CLS basically will clear your screen. So I can do whatever I want to do, and then let's CLS means clear screen. It will just clear your window for you. And CD means change directory. Basically, since I've saved the partial file on a different file directory, I'll just do a CD and then give the complete path within quotes because there is a space here and you don't know if I provide spaces, it will think there are two different inputs and then it will throw me an error. So basically encompass it within codes and then it actually changed my directory. So this was my current directory and now the directory is this. So there are other ways to see where you are. So PWD means print working directory to just show you on where you are currently located in. So basically your current path is C users admin desktop new folder. Okay. We also know that we have a script saved here to see to take a look on the files you have currently on your directory. You can use dir, and then it will show all the files that is present under this path. Since this is a newly created path and I only created one file, I only have one file here. Typically, you'll have a lot of files, but yeah. Okay. So to run my script, I don't have to type the entire thing since I'm already on the path. So you can just type my d and then press tab. It will basically just suggest you to run the file. And then as soon as you hit enter, wait a sec. Just because I have the file locked here. Okay. Basically, this is what the script evaluates to. The CPU utilization is high because we made the logic such that even if it is higher than 10%, we call it high. So basically, CPU utilization is 27 and memory utilization is 33. Ram Prasad, are you with me?
Hello. Yeah, Krish.
Yeah, are you with me?
Sorry?
Okay. Did I miss out? Like, what was the last thing you heard? Okay. Did you hear what I described on what this script actually does after this output came? Do you recall what I said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you okay. So yeah, that is for because I think I had some issues. My audio just rejoined. Okay, yeah, that's it for the script. I was asking if you have any doubts or queries within this demo or within the script itself.
Yeah, so far it's good.
Okay,
But actually,
yeah,
one
go on.
of my two friends is there. He also
Okay,
learning to PowerShell. Actually, he suddenly you shared the link. That's
mm-hmm.
why I didn't. I am not able to inform them. If
Yeah, no, no,
possible,
no
I
problems
will.
at all. What we'll have is we'll have the recordings. We can share it with them, or if they are looking for another demo, we can give them that as well. Okay,
Okay, Chris. And
okay.
also, I need to learn from basics.
Do not
So
worry.
uh,
Yeah.
today, what we
Mm-hmm.
expect.
What I've taught, I've also covered this on a sessions.
Yes.
I'll cover this in depth. I'll start from the very basics and I'll teach each and everything. And if you have any queries, you can straight away reach out to me. I'll try and teach you in that class itself. And if it's a complex request, what we'll do is we'll try and place it on any of our further sessions. Uh, do not worry, we'll cover whatever you have within those classes. Okay, and we'll start from the
Okay.
basics. You do
Okay,
not
Chris.
need to know anything about PowerShell itself.
Okay. And
Oh,
about for your fees structure, whom I need to contact
Kirti,
with you,
you'll
or
have to reach
is
out to
there
Kirti.
any other person?
Yeah,
Kirti.
Kirti is
Okay,
point of
okay.
contact. Will reach out to you basically after the session, and you can take this
Oh,
further. Okay.